Notice to Lara Croft, a current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lara, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared, and given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor somewhere. Dad's safe. Needs a combination. It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library. This is probably my grandfather Benjamin. A picture with Dad and Anna. Never liked wearing dresses, but the color was nice. Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. Icy but polite.
It must have been hard for Mum to go against her family's wishes. I'm glad she did. Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb. Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research. Birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing. That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good.
Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight quite unexpectedly. But it shouldn't have been, it seems. I've been so buried in my work, so distracted.
My parents made a good team, challenging each other from the start. One of Dad's Yoruba masks, a gift from a friend. The door to the library. Locked. There's got to be another. This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages. Way through. Too dark. Going to need a flashlight. Dad's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always loved looking at these. Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to...
Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mum lately.
Lara, I've reviewed the report from your therapist. I have to say I was surprised to see a clean bill of health. I somehow doubt you've so easily abandoned your irrational claims.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, I won't be boring your sword this time. The Grand Hall. Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix. A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I
Locked.
just wanted to see...
Need a key to open this.
Was Mum's room in here?
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
The offer came in the post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I will meet him shortly. I never told him I was...
Looking at the compass, thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
I'm not sure. I really need to brush up on my...
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior. I can only assume you suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip. Should be able to explore the dark now. Hey, Jonah. Sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the Manor. Hello.
Just stay out of there, darling.
Dad was always so protective of the West Wing.
Amelia, the news has reached Mother. She knows that you broke off your engagement with the...
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
They say a good test of a relation...
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
Amelia, I know we have had our differences in recent years. I've tried my...
Still just as creepy as I remember.
My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health.
Poor Winston. I remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
King to Queen 1. I'm going to win this time, Winston.
Clever girl.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him. Always chose white. Maybe if I let him go first once in a while, I might have won.
You should know by now, winning isn't everything. Queen to King's Bishop 6. Check.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, love. Don't rush to victory.
I'm at a crossroads now. Good lord, that's such a cliche.
Bishop to King 7. Everything is...
Dad loved a good bottle of wine. I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
Dad, this is it. The basement of despair.
Indeed, Laura. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Look there. See the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The keepers of knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
My stuffed bear. I couldn't have a tomb without a mummy. One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my hair ribbons to make this. He and Dad put a lot of work into this birthday surprise. Water damage from the main hall above. Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Amelia left tonight.
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
I've created a...
I always accepted that Richard's...
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day of our wedding anniversary.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it though. The Croft family crest and initials PC. I wonder if this... Okay, should be able to light the fireplace now.
I've read...
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life? I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Now, let me see. These two myths are referencing the same source material. Where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I
One
remember
of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find.
the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
This music is familiar. It's beautiful. It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly? Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time. image of a key. I remember this map now. It leads to the master key, but we made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a fire. I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase. X marks the spot, as they say.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling girl.
Takes me back. Those were good times. The best times. This picture was taken in the library. 1820 additions to the main hall in progress. The master key. This should get me into the West Wing. All right, this should open most rooms in the manor, including the forbidden West Wing. I think there might be more clues to find in the library. This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing. Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventures. This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs. The Pharaoh's crown from my birthday treasure hunt. How old was I again? 6? 8? I think this hieroglyph corresponds to a number, but which one? Okay, Dad's clues mention Mum's paintings and their anniversary. Hopefully I can find some answers in the West Wing.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure, my favorite painting by Amelia, the day of our wedding anniversary. Amelia left. I've created... I've reached...
The pharaoh's crown from my... I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the I remembered... the pharaoh's crown from my birthday. I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a pitch. Need to search the rest of the manor for the clues to the combination. Worse than I thought.
I believe it took this trip to push me open.
I am bursting with pride. Amelia...
Dad may have discovered the secret to immortality without even knowing it. Mum's wedding ring. I always wondered what happened to it. My mother's... Mum, on her wedding day, she looks so beautiful. There's a date, October something. Damn, the number is faded. Their anniversary was in October, but which day? I can't believe I don't know this. There's got to be another clue somewhere. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. October 13th. Pretty sure my parents were married in October. I think it was close to her birthday. This is Dad. I suppose it's a family tradition, but...
After everything
I
Atlas...
think this was Dad's pocket watch.
How could you tell him about the expedition?
It's just all been too much. I needed to talk to someone. He's still my brother.
I don't trust him.
You don't have to, Richard, but please, trust me.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I know him. He'll take it to the papers. The investors will pull out.
Then go. Without me. Tonight. I will take care of Atlas. And then meet you in Tibet next week.
I was so young, but I still remember that terrible argument. It wasn't always an easy road for my parents. The Croft family crest. Need to search the rest of the manor for the clues to the combination.
Mistress Lara.
You're starting to see things.
My
Mum's atelier. Dad sealed it soon after she died. Untouched for years, exactly as she left it.
I stood up to my family's criticism.
Mum with me as a baby. I've never seen this. Hard to believe I was a... I don't have any memory of this. I wish I could remember doing this. Mum's paintings. Which one was Dad's favorite?
I returned home.
Blocks of red. Dad's favorite painting. Maybe something about that painting will help me figure out the combination. Okay, back to the study to open that safe. This was for a show in London of Mum's work. What I wouldn't give to see this today. It says here, Amelia Croft plans to show her work in New York.
You've almost got it, darling. Here, let me show you. Like this, see? Well done, Laura. Well done.
I wonder how my life would have been different had she lived. I'm glad I still have so much of Mum's work.
Dad, what do you keep in there?
Nothing too important, Lara. Estate business and such.
If it's not important, then why bother putting it in a safe?
I should know better than to try and pull one over on you. There is something important in here. And it's for you, should you need it someday.
Well, let's hope you came through for me, Dad. No, that's not it. No, that didn't work. The answer has to be in the
I returned.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure.
The Pharaoh's crown from my birthday trip. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum. I remember this now. This is... This is my head. Not. Dad became interested in Mum's. Dad loved Mum on her wedding. My mum. This was for Mum with me as a baby. Okay, found all the clues. Let's see if I can figure this out. No, that's not it. No, that didn't work.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure. My favorite painting by Amelia. The day...
the Pharaoh's crown from my birthday trip. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday. I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol. I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a... Dad's map of the forgotten... Dad's map of the forgotten... This was... Dad would have liked me to go... There has to be in the clues.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's... They say...
I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox... I'm at a crossroads now. Good Lord, that's such a...
Hey, Jonah.
Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organising the affair and keeping it secret. She's upset. My lord.
I always accepted that Richard's rather... I finally introduced Richard to the family.
Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight. They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I...
A picture. This was for a show. Mum, on her wedding day, she looks so beautiful. Mum. I remember this. Dad gave it to Mum on her birthday.
I believe it took this trip to push me over the edge. I've been able to see Richard in his element, seeing him at his best and his worst. I've experienced the purity and chaos of his passion, and I came to realize I want his passion in my life every day.
That worked. It makes me happy to know that Dad kept us safe. No, that's not what I'm looking for.
I am numb. It is taking all my willpower to hold back the overwhelming grief. Amelia's...
Dad, what did you do? Dad's sequel to his first book on immortality. He never got a chance to publish it. Handwritten. This is the only copy. Damn, this isn't it either. I was certain there had to be a will in here. Wait, what's that? A blank page. Dad must have left this for me. It has to be important. A hidden message. What are these strange marks? They have to be some kind of clue.
I returned.
A hidden message. hidden message. This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here? Someone has a sense of humor.